So I'm back in my armchair and I've got my laptop over here, which means I'll be reacting to something. You guys asked for it. I am analysing the British accents in Nightmare Time. Curt, Angela, I am sorry. Disclaimer, this does not have anything to do with how much I love them, because I love them a lot. I am just purely analysing the British accents they're attempting / succeeding to do. If you have no idea why I'm doing this, I am British, and I did a previous video on this where I analysed the British accents used in Spies Are Forever, and a number of you thought, that looked fun, do it again, Catherine! Here we go. Angela's Lucy. So she's an heiress, so she's got a bit more of an RP, which I was talking about in the previous video, received pronunciation. That is the typical posher British accents that people are used to hearing on like Downton Abbey and things like that. It is called received pronunciation. Like, how dare you! I mean, that's over the top. You get what I mean. It's like almost Christmas and I'm still feeling Nightmare Timey / Halloween. It's hard to pick out because of the beautiful music and things going on. It's a bit difficult to pick out the exact accents, so a lot of this will be sort of approximations and things, but obviously she's going a bit posher.
I don't know. What do you say to someone who saved your life? I suppose I'd thank him in whatever way I could.
What do you say to someone who saved your life? I suppose I'd thank him in whatever way I could. She's pretty good. I mean, she is pretty good on it. There's certain odd words and things that are not as accurate, perhaps, as one might like.
Other things don't get in the way.
I think the thing is, it is so close. And it is quite it's an accent I'm familiar with, probably too much. Having obviously grown up in Britain, that's why I'm doing these videos, because I'm British, so I'm aware of these accents. But also because I've done a lot of drama and theatre and things, I have been almost trained to do the accent that she is almost doing. So you've got the received pronunciation, that's sort of just a bit softer, but she's almost doing it. She's almost doing it. So not this year, Rupert. I suppose there's always next year if other things don't get in the way. But she's so good. She's so good. Ah!
Yes, it's just the rain. It makes me sad. Maybe this is just a childish dream. Goodbye, Hatchetfield. Maybe forever.
She's there. She's there. She got that. She got it. Yes. I think what I think the sort of the disadvantage that Angela's got more than the others is the fact she's female. So this thing too, like, and as you guys probably all know from every single accent in the world, there is a difference between female and male accents. Like, there just is. Most of the time accents are pretty similar, but there is a difference on how women and men say certain phrases and lines and stuff. So when I hear Angela do it, being Lucy, doing an accent that's essentially ramped up posh version of my accent, my brain is inherently very critical. Just sort of going, that's not quite right!
Is that any way to treat a lady?
The British accents, there are so many. I did this in the previous video as well, but there is not one British accent! There is not one English accent! I can take about 3 steps out my door and find people that are a different accent to me, because I have always been told I have a posh voice, or a posher voice than most people, and that is because I grew up in theatre! I got taught how to project, how to enunciate. I was given elocution lessons at like 7 years old on how to clip my words in the correct ways and how to properly perform with my voice alone. I basically had to stand with my back to the back of the stage and the teacher would be in the audience, stood like near the back, and I had to project my voice all the way to. I'm sure a lot of you who've done theatre have done similar ones to that, where you've got your theatre teacher going, "Sorry, I can't hear you. Project louder." But we were projecting, going "Puh, puh, puh, ta, ta, ta," and doing all that and going, "I didn't hear that, ta, Catherine, louder, ta." So yeah, what was I talking about? Yeah, Angela is epic. That's what I was talking about.
I have a prior engagement, but it can wait. It has to. My God, I've been searching for him my entire life, and now I found him. I'm never letting him go.
Well, I have a prior engagement, but it can wait. It has to. My God, I've been searching for him my entire life, and now that I've found him, I'm never letting him go. Do you hear what I hear? It's like 1 centimetre out sort of thing, but my ear just rings with it because it's like, oh, that's not right. But most of what she's saying is so bang on the money that, like, one word is just like, oh, no. I hope you understand what I mean. But yeah, on the whole, mwah, amazing. Oh, beautiful. So, so many people were after my reaction to this. So let's move on to Curt, shall we?
Well, Lucy Stockworth, you've been a very naughty girl.
It's just like, what a line to enter on. What a line. By the way, can we say something about the names? I love you, Nick Lang, but I'm sorry, Jonathan Brisby. I mean, I say that, I literally went to school with a girl called Shuttleworth. There are certainly some Jonathan Brisbys out there, and if he's part of the upper crust, fair enough. But yeah, I remember hearing it over the video for the first time. Lucy Stockworth and Jonathan Brisby, and I was like, of course they're British. Of course they're British.
Jonathan, what the hell are you doing here?
I'm just gonna analyse this just because in the script they say, what on earth are you doing here? What on earth is definitely more British upper class. What the hell is my class? Middle lower class, what the hell? Sort of thing. Upper class, what on earth? What on earth are you doing here? Classism for you in British culture.
Well, I expected a cheerier reception than that. Could a man join his fiancée for a pleasant holiday? A holiday which you were set to return from 2 weeks ago. You missed your dress fitting, you know. My mother is beside herself, and I must admit I've been dreadfully worried as well.
I love you, Curt, but there are some words that are so wrong. In terms of the character he's playing, it's perfect. But if I were to do that line in that character, oh gosh, here we go. Well, I expected a cheerier reception than that. Can't a man join his fiancée for a pleasant holiday? A holiday which he was set to return from 2 weeks ago. You missed your dress fitting, you know. My mother is beside herself, and I must admit I've been dreadfully worried as well. Obviously, the sort of, like, received pronunciation being upper crust, posh, and sort of stuff, so it's meant to be, like, clipped. I think it's almost too clipped on occasion. Quite a lot of stereotypical things about posh people in Britain, certainly, about they do have clipped sort of things, so they go, hello, and welcome, and things like that. Well, oh my gosh, I'm getting more and more pronounced and posh as I talk. It physically hurts to be critical of Curt, because I just love him so much. Just 1 or 2 words that it just like gone, oh no, ooh, to my ear. So I'm sure other British people would disagree with me, on that.
So I've come to Hatchetfield myself, to see the sights, maybe do some hunting.
That was good. That was good. With the character he's playing, that bit was very good. It is slightly overly clipped. But I think that is just because he's trying to really, really hammer home the fact that he's an upper crust snob.
I hear the game's a spot of all right. I'll shoot you a Nighthawk. We'll have it stuffed as a souvenir. Then you won't have to come back to this silly place.
The first half of that line was so perfect. What happened? Souvenir is the bit back in the throat. Souvenir. Whereas, probably, I certainly would say souvenir. Which is a bit more towards the front of the mouth. Rather than souvenir. Like you're trying to swallow the word. Posher people would go, souvenir. So that's sort of middle. Figure that out for yourself. I hear the game here is a spot of all right. I'll shoot you a Nighthawk. We'll have it stuffed as a souvenir. Then you won't have any reason to come back to this silly place. It's very close, but the first half of that line was impeccable. So it's sort of like, oh, Curt. Oh no! As I said in my previous video, I have worked in the tourism industry pretty much all my life. So the fact that there are Americans out there who can nail British accents is just shocking to me. Because so many times I had people coming up because, oh my god, you're a real British person, you speak like this! Oh, cool, blimey! And I'm like, I am not from Mary Poppins! Could you not? I just hit my laptop, well done me.
Oh, so you're the one who's spirited away my Lucy for some sort of secret experiment. It must be quite the endeavour.
Right. Again, there's just like one or two words in that I'm like, experiment was one. Experiment. Like, spearmint. I'm I don't know if I've got overly critical on Curt because I was trying not to be overly critical on Angela, but never mind! So, the first bit, so you're the one who spirited away my Lucy for some sort of, like, that, yes. Secret experiment? No. I'm trying to channel Posh. So you're the one who spirited away my Lucy for some sort of secret experiment. They would, a Posh person would be able to say, experiment. Experiment. Experiment has become no longer a word for me. It's still a really good accent. As I said, it's just one or two words and phrases and stuff that I'm just like.
Speaking of wily birds, what the devil do you think you're up to, Professor Higgins? If you are, in fact, a real professor. Heaven knows you don't have a real ape man.
Oh, almost caricature there. There is a certain, I'm just trying to think, there is a certain class of British aristocracy who might sound very similar to what Curt is doing, but there are odd bits, as I keep repeating to my ear, things like min, experiment and stuff, it clashes with what I am very familiar with on the British RP. So it kind of flashes red in my brain like, that's wrong. I'm going to stop here. If there was a specific line or chunk that you wanted me specifically to react to, just let me know in the description and I might include it in another episode. I can just feel that this video is getting longer and longer and longer. Obviously, as I keep filming. But generally, my analysis is Angela is 9.5 out of 10. I don't know if I'm being more lenient to her because because she's pretty much doing my accent but just polished up a few notches. So I do like, she's so close. She's pretty close to hot. Like, yeah, as I said, 9.5 out of 10. Pretty good. First off, 10 out of 10 for the costume. Definitely a person from the British aristocracy would be wearing that. In terms of the accent, probably a 9 out of 10. Just odd words and bits are just like slightly. I still can't get over it. Experiment sort of thing. No. It wasn't very accurate, but it's one of the best British accents that I've heard. Starkid, Tin Can Brothers, they've obviously filled of very, very talented actors who pay attention to things. Neither of those accents quite beat, for me, Joe Richter in Spice Up Forever. If you want to listen to a good British RP accent, for me, personally, Joe Richter almost nails it. is like 9.8 out of 10. One of the best British accents I've heard by a non-English person. The best one, outside of the realm of Starkid, Renee Zellweger in Bridget Jones' Diary as a naturalistic British accent. Incredible. If you want to listen to a good British accent done by a non-British person, that you can't beat. In my mind anyway. If you have British accents from Starkid, Tin Can Brothers or elsewhere that you would like me to analyse, there is a Google form down below where you can put them in. I feel I was overly critical of Curt there. I love you, Curt, if you happen to be watching. Your videos have really cheered me up during lockdown. If you would like to support me, obviously the free ways are liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing. There are also ways if you'd like to support me monetary wise. Because in the immortal words of Bug, I don't have a job! I lost my job during COVID-19. I'm sure it's a story many people can empathise with. So in the description I have an Etsy shop where I am selling some geeky typography. There are 2 Starkid ones and various other geeky ones that I love. If you've got a suggestion for something I could use in a typography, let me know and you could get a discount off. Also, another free way for you to support me is let me know what I should do next. So comment on my video saying you should do this song next, you should cover this song. Or I have got a couple of Google forms. They will all be in the description below. So one thing probably relating to this video, me being British, honest questions to ask a British person that you've been too afraid to ask. Description. Ask away. Like, I've got a couple of questions, but not quite enough to make a video, so go on. Do not pull any punches, it's totally anonymous. I mean, you could ask me literally anything within reason. I'm still after submissions for scenes or lines from Starkid and Tin Can Brothers or whatever that you would like me to do. Again, description. So, I'm aware this is probably a very long video at this point, and I'm aware you probably all are bored, sick of me at this point. Was I going posher there? I can't control it. I'm turning into Jonathan Frisbee. Thank you so much for your support recently. It has been so much fun to see more and more comments popping up. Let's keep this going. We might not be the biggest, but let's be the funnest. Let's have the most fun with it. So, like, comment, subscribe, and stay totally awesome.